If you're feeling overwhelmed juggling more than one client at a time, you're going to love today's video because I'm taking you behind the scenes into the exact system that we use for project management for 4 to 8 copywriting clients at a time. Hi, I'm Brittany McBean. I'm a launch strategist and conversion copywriter, and I run a small micro agency working with up to 4 or more, if we can bring in some subcontractors, clients at a time on long projects that usually take anywhere from 12 weeks to 6 months and end up with hundreds of pages of copy. So these are not little projects here. Juggling more than one client at a time can feel more chaotic than a 3-year-old's birthday party at a trampoline park. It's madness. I am not someone whose brain just automatically organizes and works in systems and works in processes. I'm not the person with inbox 0 who answers all of my text messages, who can work efficiently and stay on task. That's not me. I have off the charts ADHD. My brain does not see systems and processes, but I absolutely need them to function. And more than that, my business needs them to function. So it is something that my team and I have focused very intently on and creating so that my ADHD brain is not running the entire business off the rails. I'm going to walk you through the 2 main Trello boards that we use to manage our client projects and to keep all of our systems and our team on track. And one of them I'm giving you completely for free. Yes, I do have a team, and these systems allow all of us to communicate and stay on task and know where the project is and know where each person is in the project, but this is the exact system that I set up when it was just me and a VA. This has scaled up with my team, it has scaled up with our client projects, whether the projects have gotten bigger, the budgets have gotten bigger, the projects have gotten longer, and the team has grown. The system has scaled up, so it's one that you can absolutely use and start with right where you are, tweak it, make it your own, and use it as you grow. Yes, I am using Trello. I love Trello. The free version has worked for us for over 3 years. And if Trello is just not your thing, that's totally fine. You can take this and you can plug it into Asana or ClickUp or Monday.com or whatever you use, whatever works for you. The point is to have a system and a tool in which that system lives. Now, an important caveat. I believe in strong boundaries that you hold yourself and your business to. You have a limited capacity. Your time and your energy are limited resources. So this is not about more is more. This is not about stretching your capacity. This is saying with the given capacity that you have and whatever it is that puts the boundaries and the confines around that capacity, whether it is the number of children you have at home, the age of the children at home or in school or homeschooling, a neurodivergence, a sick spouse or partner, a sick parent that you're caring for, a disability, whatever that thing is, that is your capacity and that does not need to change. More is not more. What we are going to do is say with the given capacity that we have, how can we scale our business to continue to serve people at an excellent level of service and continue to raise our prices and continue to do work we love without sacrificing our time, our boundaries, our sanity, and our autonomy. This is about saying yes to the people that you love to work with rather than saying, I'm sorry, you have to go on the wait list or I can't work with you for another 8 weeks. For me, when my business started to grow, I had all of these inquiries coming in with people that I was dying to work with. Some of them were like names that I had heard before and followed for a while. Some of them were people that were brand new to me, but just businesses I was super excited about. They were ideal clients, ideal projects, and I didn't want to say no to any of them. I knew that this is what I needed to scale, but I wasn't going to magically have more hours in a day or magically not have at that time a 1-year-old to take care of. So this is about increasing the capacity and the quality of the work you do with your limited time and resources. And the best way to do that is systems, baby. The number 1 way to increase your capacity and your efficiency are systems, processes, and automation. The number 2 way is delegating, but that's a different video for a different day. The truth is, if you are still manually responding to every inquiry that comes in and manually setting up sales call, whether you're using a link or even worse, going back and forth trying to find a date or time that works, and if your project management is still all done on the legal pad and all of your creative is done with pen and paper, you are spending hours, if not days, doing things that a tool or a system could do in minutes or seconds. All right, we're gonna dive in. And remember, I'm giving you away this board for free. So stay until the end, make sure that you grab it. And we're gonna head into the back end of my business and I'm gonna walk you through exactly how we manage multiple client projects at one time. Okay, this is a template of our project management Trello board simply because I can't share my client's information. And all of the cards on my actual one have my client's information and people that have inquired but not signed a contract yet. Therefore, just got to respect everything. So, but other than that, nothing is different. So let me show you how, what you can use on this board and then how specifically we use it. So project resources, this is where, so there's a couple things on here that are specifically for you. I don't actually have these cards on mine because this is for you to use this to help you use it for your business. So I have a Loom video here walking you through similarly to what I'm going to be covering now, but just so that you can remember and that you have this once you have this Trello board uploaded for yourself. Trello tips and tricks, so like literally just like Trello hacks, and then kind of how to use a Kanban style project manager to make it work for you. So these are all resources for you as someone swiping this, not necessarily what we have in our Trello board, but we do have this. So these are all of the labels that we have. If you're not super familiar with Trello, it's pretty intuitive, but basically whole thing is a board. Each of these are lists, and then within the list are cards, and you can label cards really specifically. So these are all the labels that we use so that we can just see what's going on with each card. And then these are some things that may or may not apply to you, but I've left them on here because I want you to see all of the things that I have included on this in case it's helpful for you. So this is a link to our client project calendar. We use a Plannyway, which is basically like a widget for Trello. So this would be a good place to link your calendar that shows everything, because what we want to do is not have like 5 client sales pages due on the same day. We need to look and say, okay, we have this project going on. When can we onboard the next project so that we're not in writing for 2 projects at the same time, and we're not in strategy for 2 projects at the same time, and we kind of stagger it, almost like when you go to get your hair done. If you're someone who has gotten your hair colored before, like while you're getting your hair colored, your stylist is probably cutting someone else's hair while your color is setting. That's kind of what we do here. Okay. So it's important to look at the calendar when we're going to onboard someone to pick that onboarding date. This is our master SOP. I don't think it is terribly helpful to take someone else's SOP if you don't have the same team structure, if you don't have the same industry or context. So this isn't about like withholding our proprietary SOP. It's that like this would not apply to you, but these are the different steps that we have in our SOP. So what you would do is, as you're creating your SOP, stands for standard operating procedure, you're just going to add things to your checklist, and then you're going to be able to move through each part of your process. So we have it divided up as in the inquiry process, the onboarding process, actually doing the project. And actually, this is where we go over to another board. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Then offboarding, and then post offboarding. So this becomes the template. And then when we have a new client, this is where the template is made from. All of this is set up with a Zap that quite honestly is way above my pay grade. My team is brilliant. I am not. But there are a lot of things here that are zapped. All of these can be done manually, and it is something that you could set up to be automated as well. So your system can get more evolved as you have capacity, or as you're able to hire someone to do the technical things for you, or as you can set it up yourself, but it doesn't have to be all automated to start with. The client service standards. So yeah, like this is for our team, just a reminder of what our standards are, what our guidelines are, what things do we need to follow every single time. This is where we have a PDF of the client welcome kit. It's in here so we can easily grab it. And then for client gifts, so we actually have stopped doing client gifts, but I left this how it used to be. We had a list that people were continuously asking for. So that's what I included in here, were Black-owned businesses that we like to support and use for our gifts. So I left that in here. None of them are affiliates, just they're here if this is helpful for you. We actually stopped doing client gifts because our clients were like, I don't need another coffee mug or candle. And so we do donations instead. So our clients get to pick the organization that they want us to donate to, and we donate a portion of their project. So these are just resources for the team. So when someone inquires, we use Honeybook for an inquiry. The Zap automatically creates a card here. So Dwight Schrute just inquired. So the inquiry came in, and this card is going to go, right there. This means that they filled out an inquiry in the Honeybook form, and they are now in our workflow. The brochure, our magazine of services, automatically gets sent out. So when that is sent out, this is moved there. Now, all of this happens for us, again, because of this zap, from the time someone inquires all the way through the sales call. Nobody on the team, no human is lifting a finger. Not a second of our time is spent doing anything until the call is booked. And then I show up on the call. And that is the first time that we're spending our actual real time on this project. Doesn't mean that our clients don't have a ton of touch points and feel really taken care of and have all the information they need. It just means that all that is automated. So if they book a call, if Dwight booked with me, it gets moved to here. And so this card is actually what the template, the checklist master list, this is where we make a copy of this template and it becomes Dwight Schrute's template. And then we can check off those things as we're going through the process so that you can click on this and see all of those SOPs within steps of the SOP and where we are in the project. So then if the call was booked and after we have the call, if we followed up with them, and then if they book, it goes to booked projects. And if they don't book, then we might follow up again, or it just goes to completed or on hold, just depending on what makes the most sense for you. Or you can have an abandoned list. And this is also where, so let's say I have an existing client who's like, hey, Brittany, we need to do something in the next couple of months, what's your capacity look like? My clients are incredible and they don't expect me to just hold spaces for them. But I also want to accommodate the people that I've been working with. So if I know that Michael Scott has a funnel that we want to look at, in 2 months from now, then I'm going to have that spot on here just to remind us. So project is booked once we start the onboarding process. So we might book a project 4 weeks before the first date of the project because we have a bit of a wait list, or 8 weeks before. So this would sit there until then. And then day one, the start date of the project, it goes into progress. And that is when we start going into the actual client project, which I'll share in a moment. And then after it's done, after all the offboarding is done, it goes to complete. Anything that goes on hold goes here. If there's anything internal going on that has to do with the client side of the business, we want to do a systems audit, or we want to, I'm you know what, our strategy deliverable, we've really evolved. That deliverable just isn't what I need it to be. We need to optimize that. That needs to go on here. And then this needs to get planned. There needs to be a space in our calendar to do this. So these I would list here, and then we can move them to the calendar, or even to a book project to just treat it like a client project. Goals, if you just want to kind of list raise our prices by X date, you can set a, let's say we want to go back to here. Okay, so then we can go in here and we can say, hey, on January 1st, I am going to boom, done, goal. And now it's going to give me a reminder that we're doing that. Ideas. This is where if you're a visionary like me and you have more ideas and you have hours in the day, and you definitely should not be executing all of them, if not even most of them, this idea brain dump is great because it goes here. It doesn't have to die, and you don't have to worry about doing it right now. And honestly, more often than not, we don't even come back to them, but that's okay. And then any notes that you have here, anything else. So this is something that if you are the only person in your business, you can absolutely walk things through, have that SOP, have that checklist, set up any automations that you need to, and have multiple clients going on at once, because I can see, hey, we have 3 inquiries. I have 2 sales calls. I have 3 projects in process here. Okay, I need to go to the client calendar and say, with these 2 sales calls, when can I fit them in? When is our start date based on the projects that we already have? All right, this one is complete. We just offboarded this person. So that one doesn't count anymore in a space on our calendar. So we've got these in process. You get to kind of see where everybody is. And the idea, the goal is to have this pipeline where you have couple inquiries, a couple calls booked, booked projects, projects in process, and then projects that are being offboarded, so that you can see that like whole view of your entire business, basically the client side of your business. So this is 100% available to you. You can swipe it, you can customize it, you can use all of this, you can use none of it, you can make this whatever you want. Honestly, the branding's probably going to look a little bit different by the time you download it, but everything is going to be just like this for you. Don't forget that you have these resources. Now I'm going to go to a copy of our client project board where when we are doing a large project, like a 15-week project, that client gets their own Trello board. If it's a VIP day or VIP week, then everything's going to be done within this card here. And it's going to be like a template specifically for the VIP week. But I want to show you what a client project looks like. Now, look, I am not making this available as a swipe because this is so specific to our business. I don't care if you see it. It's not about keeping it behind a paywall, but you're going to have very different steps. The point is to see how this is laid out, see if it makes sense for you, and to structure something similar. Once you know how to use Trello, once you have this project board, you can totally make something that looks exactly like this. So for us, what this looks like is we have each week of our entire, this would be like a launch or a funnel project. Each week is mapped out from week 1 to final to offboarding to post project. Every single week is separated with a couple different categories. We have all of the tasks that happen during that week, any templates that we would need. So sending out the welcome packet, sending out the onboarding questionnaire, sending out some of our proprietary client resources that we have. We can grab this template, get it over to that client, and then any meetings that happen that week and any deliverables that are sent that week. So like week 0, our clients get the project plan. They know what is happening every week, every day of every week, when all of their meetings are. From now until the end of the project, everything is planned out and they have that in their calendar. They know when they need to review copy and get it back to us. They know when we're getting copy to them and we hit our deadline. So this is written in stone for the most part. We're reasonable and flexible, but still important for them to have that. And then this is what it looks like to start doing. Like we have 3 weeks of research. These are the steps that we go through, the meetings that happen that week, the the deliverables. There might not be a deliverable. There might not be a template, right? There might not be a meeting, but there's a space for each one. And then we move into strategy, and then we have a buffer week, and then we move into writing, and then we stay in writing and editing, and then we have the final, and then offboarding. And then each thing has a task, a template, a meeting, or a deliverable. And then the last thing that's really important to notice, if you are the only person working on the client project, managing the client project, writing the client copy, this is going to be invaluable. This allows you to deliver a consistent client experience every single time, so that the client who's raving about working with you is going to be telling the next person exactly what their experience was like, and that next person is going to have the exact same experience. So you get to move through this process, and you can, let's say something changes and this needs to go to this week. You can move all of those things around as you need to. And as you grow a team, if you grow a team, whether it is creative support, adding on a writer, whether it is administrative support, then you can label these cards as who does what. So in progress is something, in progress, internal task, client task. These just kind of help us figure out what the heck is going on with that individual card. But whether incomplete, whether the CEO does this, whether a writer does this, whether it's my team, like my employee, or a 1099 contractor, like junior copywriter, whether it's another contractor, whether it is a VA, a virtual assistant, or an operations assistant, we can label that. So once I'm able to start delegating, then I can see, oh my gosh, look at this. Like my writer and my ops team does all of this before we even begin. And look at this, week 1, like I'm not doing anything. I'm hopping on the meeting. Week 2, it's not that I'm not doing anything. It's like, these are the tasks that I have on my calendar that meeting. I'm going over the strategy, going over everything with my writer. There's internal things that happen here, but that's really more of like I don't know, just our weekly meeting. That's a part of our weekly process. So it's not in here because that happens every week, no matter what. But then like, look, I'm going through the research on week 3. I know I need to block out the research. I know I need to block out creating this. I need to block out creating this. I need to do all these meetings. I need to block out the copy chiefing, all of that stuff. So this helps you scale with a team and keep your shit together if it's just you, because who could keep all of this in their brain and deliver a consistent premium experience every time? If you can, you are a freaking genius. You need to bottle that up and sell it. I cannot. I need this. So hope this was helpful. Okay, we're heading back to the video. So that's what it looks like day in and day out inside of my business with my team and I working on these projects. Look, Trello is not a perfect tool. There is going to be something wrong with every tool out there, something that doesn't work for you, no matter what that tool is. Nothing is 100% perfect. So whether you use Trello or not, I don't care. My integrator, Erica McCauley, always says the tool for you, the right tool for you is the one you use. Period, end of story. Sometimes you just got to grab one and stick to it and commit to it and work around its flaws and then eventually go ahead and change. Full disclosure, we are actually in the middle of a migration to ClickUp right now. I still love Trello. I cannot say this enough. It got us through 3 years of business with the team that went from 1 to 2 to 5 to 7 people, with client work averaging around like $230K a year. Trello has worked for us, and now we are getting to the point where the team is too big, the projects outside of the client projects, we have a lot of other projects going on in the business. There's just too much going on where it's starting to get lost in Trello. So yes, we are migrating to ClickUp, but I've been in Trello for 3 years and I love it. So grab this process, make it work for you and the tool that works for you. The point is just to have a system, period. All right, so go ahead and grab this Trello board. You can completely swipe it. Everything I've shown you here is all yours. Go ahead and click around, use it. Let me know how it works for you. Go ahead and comment. Loved it, hate it, this worked, this didn't work. What would you do? And like, let me know. Just comment below. I have nothing else to do. I'll sit there and answer. It's not true. I have a 4-year-old, but like I love checking out on my phone. So go ahead and comment. I'll make sure to respond to you. And if this was helpful and you want to see more videos on the systems and processes and the back end of my business and how I run a premium copywriting agency, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure to follow, and then you'll get the notification every week in your inbox. All right, I'll see you in the next video.